Hey guys, so this is Game of Thrones recap for Season 6, Episode 2. What is it called? Oathbreaker. And the episode starts off with, of course, Jon Snow is officially alive, and Davis comes in and sees Jon Snow, is just like, okay. And of course, because Jon's still trying to figure out what the hell happened, and I guess he's remembering the fact that he was actually killed, because he's feeling his chest, and of course he got stabbed in the heart. And so David's just like, yo, just breathe, just relax, just calm down. And of course he's super calm at this point because he can barely move. And of course the Red Lady comes in and it's just like, oh, so what do you remember? I'm like, he was dead. What do you think he's going to remember? This is Game of Thrones. This is not real life. Well, for some people it is. But this is not real life. So his interpretation of what happens is going to be completely different. And there is no interpretation. He died. That was it. There was nothing else. And she's just thinking, okay, but what, how? Because the gods that she believes, you know, the fire god that she believes, it's like, there's something. And because there's nothing, everyone's just looking like, yeah, so we did all this praying and that's not lining up to what we thinking, and we get past that, and after that, we see Sam. Remember Sam? Jon's best friend. You know, the one that was originally a coward but bossed up towards the end. Yeah, Sam and his little girlfriend. They're on the boat because remember, they had to go and escape Castle Black because if they stayed there, she probably would have been killed. He probably would have been killed. The baby probably would have been killed. And so she's thinking, okay, they're gonna go to the city, but he's just like, no, we were never going to go there because they don't accept women and they're also not going to accept your child either. So she's just like, okay, so why am I on this boat? Why are you trying to play me? Oh yeah, and by the way, the boat is rocking like crazy. So Sam is on the verge of, not on the verge, he's been consistently puking this whole time. This whole time. And so she's just like, I go where you go. You said that was the deal, so why do you have me on this ship? He's just like, look, I'm gonna take you to my parents' house. You know, my father, he's not gonna be feeling you that much. But my mom and my sister are really nice. So they'll accept you, they'll accept the baby. And she was just like, she was over it, but she understands because at the end of the day, she knows that all he's trying to do is protect her. So we get past that. After that, we have Bran, who's of course improving his vision, improving his powers, and he's looking into the past. Specifically, he's looking into his father's past, and his father's about to battle this great legendary swordsman, this great legendary warrior. And the problem with that is that how he heard the story and how the story was told and interpreted to him is completely different from what actually happens, which is what's usually the case. What actually happened was his father got his butt kicked, all of his men were slaughtered except for one, and including himself, and so he was told that his father was successful in killing this man all by himself. That's not the truth. His father almost died, but you know what? Either his uncle or someone of that nature stabbed the guy in the back, which allowed his father to cut his throat. And so you hear what appears to be like a baby or something crying in this tower. Now at the time, we don't know who that is. And that's when the three-eyed sparrow is just like, you know what, no. Too much for today, that's it. And I'm thinking, okay, I understand they were there for a long time, but what is he trying to hide from Bran at this time? Why does he not want Bran to know the full truth? Because I know there will have been some type of way for him to go and see what actually happened at that point. So it must have been very monumental, whatever was going on in that tower. Maybe a child was being birthed and he couldn't let him know who it was at the time. We have no idea. So Brenda's over. He's just like, you know, what's the point of me being here? I don't want to be you. You're stuck to a tree. It's just like, look, the reason why I've been stuck to this tree for like hundreds of years or 1,000 years is because I've had to wait for you. So who are you talking to? And after that, we see, of course, the Mother of Dragons herself with the Targaryens, and not with the Targaryens, with the horse people. You know what I'm talking about. And they finally made it to, I guess you can say, their headquarters of sorts. And she's going to be taken into the temple because remember, she is the wife of a fallen. What the hell are they called? How would I? Of the horse people, and so the horse people, and so as a result, Miss Khaleesi herself has to go and join all of the other wives who lost their husband, all the other widows, and essentially once you get there, you can't leave. That is your final resting place, and all you see are these really, really irritated older women who are just like, what is she doing here? Why is she here? What is her purpose of being here? I'm a little bit over it. I'm over her because we know the truth. We know that you went and you ate the heart of a horse. You know that you did some type of sorcery and witchcraft. So we don't trust you. We don't like you. But because you were married to one of us, we have to go and accept you. And guess what? You need to accept the fact that the great Cal, he's dead. You don't have any rights. It doesn't matter what you were able to accomplish on your own. You're supposed to accomplish everything by his side. I'm just like, okay, these old ass principles and morals of marriage, of the wife having to be subservient to her husband, and as a result, whatever goal she's able to achieve, they don't matter because at the end of the day, as soon as he's gone, it's almost like she never existed. It's almost like she never had a life of her own. I'm just like, this is just sad. This is messed up. This is sad. I'm a little bit over it, but I guess we have to follow the storyline. And they strip her down and they put her in the same garments that she's in to let her know that she is one of them. She is not one of her own anymore. She is not a Targaryen. She is not Mother of Dragons. She's not Conqueror of, what is it, Mestros? Whatever it's called. She is just poor little Daenerys who was married to one of them and now has to go and live out the rest of her life with them. But I feel like, what, because you know she's not going to stay there for long. I'm thinking she's probably going to get broken out, and not only get broken out, but do a 180 and get the rest of them to join her side. You know how she does. She always needs to go Captain Save-A-Ho. That is what, I don't want to do it, but that's what I want to call her. After that, we have Varys, who's talking to this woman because he needs to find out who exactly was it that planned this revolt. Who did it? You know who did it? 3 of the richest cities in their world. That's who planned and orchestrated this. So it's like, you know, we're going to have to come up with a real game plan because we do not have the manpower, we do not have the resources to go and handle 3 of the richest cities, plotting and planning to go and take us down. And Tyrion right now is speaking with Grey Worm, and Grey Worm's little boo thing, Daenerys' assistant, that's what I'm calling her, Daenerys' assistant. And he's just, you know, he's a very personable person. And right now, he's very uncomfortable. So in order to make himself more comfortable, he's going to go and try to go have them do drinking games, play some type of game, start some type of conversation to make him feel better. And he's not understanding this whole concept of, you know, he's usually able to talk his way out of things and, side note, borderline get what he wants in a way. But it's not happening in this instance. And it's hilarious because everything that he's trying to do and trying to offer isn't working. They don't want to drink. They don't want to play games. Games are for kids. Or the type of games that Daenerys' assistants are used to involve the women. And only the women. And so he was like, no, not those type of games. And as he was trying to figure out something else or try to stall, that's when Varys comes back in and he delays the news, unveils the news to everyone about the pickle that they're currently in. Oh yeah, and by the way, Varys, in order to get that information, he threatened this woman. Well, he kind of showed her the light. It was just like, you know what? I'm not going to touch you. I'm not going to touch your child either. But I can't promise that no one else will. And he wasn't happens to you. What happens to your child? No one's going to protect him. No one's going to take care of him. You know that, right? So either you're going to tell me what I need to know and risk getting killed by the people who hired you, or you're going to eventually die anyway, and no one will be there for your child. And I'll give you a passage on this boat so you can get out of here. I'm thinking to myself, you know, next episode that woman's gonna be dead. You know how this is Game of Thrones. You know how this works. And we finally see Varys's little birdies. We finally see them. They are kids, which makes sense because it was like, you can't be grown adults doing this. Nope, they're kids that he's taken under their wing. And I guess apparently whatever was going on in their home lives, there's some type of agreement where he goes and takes care of the person or people that's messing with his family or his parents, and then they go and they work for him. And they get little sweets and little trinkets, and they love that. Cersei and Jaime come in with, of course, that big oath, and those kids were terrified. They were terrified. I would be too if that guy, this big ass guy. I mean, those kids were terrified. Anyway, it was just like, okay, from now on, Varys's little birdies are her little birdies. And so she was just like, look, I need to go know and find out who's making fun of me, who's laughing at me, and you're going to help me do that. You're going to help me do that whether you like it or not. But it's just like, no, I'm on your side. So Cersei, of course, is trying to reclaim her title and be by her son's side. But that's not going to be so easy because her cousin is there. And her cousin is officially the king's right hand, his advisor. And she walks in on this conversation of, you know, that old guy who acts like he's old and decrepit, and he's actually just a real creeper. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I get a picture of him up there because you'll know who I'm talking about. And Marjorie's, what's her name? Her grandmother is there. And her grandmother is just like, you know, regardless of what you think or what you do, you don't have a position here. You really don't. You're not the queen, honey. My grandchild is the queen. But I understand how you could get that confused just from your past discretions with, you know, your son's father / uncle. Oh my god, I forgot how much I like that one. Anyway, so Cersei is trying to reassert her authority, and it's not working. They're just like, you know what? You don't have any claims here. You don't have any power here. So this is what we're going to actually do. You're going to go over, you're going to stay right there. We're all going to get up and leave. Because there's nothing you can do about it. Because that guy isn't going to attack us. That's not what's going to help you reclaim the throne. And so Cersei realizes it's going to be a lot harder than she originally thought. Jaime's just in there for the ride. Whatever his sister / beloved wants, he'll do. Nasty. And then after that, we have the little king himself going in to meet the High Sparrow. And essentially, it's like the king versus the divine, if you will. And so the High Sparrow is just like, you know what? I understand that you feel a certain way, but at the end of the day, this isn't really you. This is your mom. This is your mom talking. This is what she wants, her influence. And I can't say that I understand that because he never had a mom. The High Sparrow never had a mom. And so as a result, he can't really connect with people who go and are so influenced by that motherly, unearthly, motherly love. But he can kind of grasp as to why the king isn't really thinking about what is really going on. Your mother admitted that she did what she did, but she didn't admit to all of her crimes. And neither did Marjorie. And so, and Marjorie hasn't admitted anything at all, as of yet. And so we have this issue of we can't let them go scot-free. Everyone must atone. I'm just like, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And that was pretty much the conversation between that. I mean, it was drawn out for borderline no reason. I mean, this second episode coming back so far. Oh yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. It was cool because it's still trying to wiggling those loose ends. And Ari is actually... she finally gets her sight back. We see her go through this whole training regimen in order to, I guess, reclaim her spot there, as she knows nothing, she sees nothing type of thing. And she gets better. She's able to fight back Willa, and Willa gets pissed once Willa finds out that it's like, oh crap, she's ready. I can't just beat up on her anymore. You can't tell me that Willa wasn't upset that Ari was able to defend herself and kind of collect herself again. And so, you know, Mr. No Name, No Face, No Person type of dude was just like, who are you? If I were to say that I would give the Ari, or a girl, her sight back, if she were to say her name, she's just like, I have no name. And so he gives her this water and he gives her sight back. Remember, just like the same thing that originally happened to take away her sight. So we get past that, and again, I feel like they're slowly building up certain characters and slowly getting ready to tear down some other ones. And we're back, and Ramsay has to go and figure out a way in order to get enough people, get enough resources to go after Castle Black to take down that, in order to eventually go and just conquer all the rest of the kingdoms. Now, he's trying to wiggle in all of the Stark clan that he doesn't have control over, or people who are connected with the Starks. And this guy was just like, look, I know you killed your father. I know you did it. So don't lie to me. You know, I would have done the same thing too, except for the fact that mine just died, so I didn't have to. But I don't trust you, I'll never trust you, and you're still not telling me the truth. So why would I trust someone with that type of mentality? And then he brings in these two people. Of course, a man and a boy. I mean, a woman and a boy. The woman is, what do you call it? The girl who became captive of the Starks, and then slowly got acclimated with the Starks and decided to watch over the youngest Stark. And then we were like, oh no. Please, oh no, please don't tell me Ramsay got a hold of one of the Starks again. Yep, the youngest brother, what was his name, Theron? Or however you pronounce it. Yeah, they officially have him. And remember, he was originally going after Sansa again in order to get a hold of the Starks. But since Sansa is out of reach at this point, he has a Stark again. And I'm afraid, because even though he's not going to necessarily touch or mess with the boy, look, you know the show's messed up. So you know at some point someone will. Someone will. But what's really important, what happens next, has me thinking, okay, maybe he won't be there for long. Maybe he won't be tortured there for long. For long, because you know it has to happen. You know, he's really been protected this whole time. He's been probably the only Stark that hasn't gone through a trial and tribulation. So, you know, they're going to drag out his trial and tribulation. But hopefully it's just for a couple episodes or one season, because I don't see it for him as far as being tortured. He's not like the rest of his siblings. Don't do too much to him, if anything. Well, he was already captured, and he's in Ramsay's clutches, so that's more than enough. Now, we're back at Castle Black because Jon is talking to the four that really plotted and planned to go and kill him. And so it's just like, any last words? Can you tell my wife that I died in battle? And it was just like, no, I don't have much to say. Of course, the little boy, Ollie. Yeah, Ollie had nothing to say. Ollie looked pissed. Ollie looked like, I'll stab you again if you get too close to me. And, of course, the little old, decrepit guy who not old and decrepit, but you know, the old, crusty, I have nothing nice. I'm not even using his name. I actually remember his name, and I refuse to use it. He looks like a White Walker. He looks like if you don't burn him right away, he's on now, goes and he hangs them. And at first it was just like, oh no, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do, wait, no, but this is Jon we're talking about. He's able to make those choices. He can do it. He can do it. And he did it. And I wasn't mad because of what they did to him. And so he officially stepped down though as the commander of the Night's Watch. Which makes sense because I'm thinking now he's going to go and go back out into the real world, which is important because his family is still in danger. So I feel like that's his way of being reacclimated into going and trying to go after his family. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. What did you think of this week's episode?